There are thousands of AI tools and apps for creatives. It's impossible to keep up with, and it feels like every day a new one is born. I tested a lot of these AI tools for creatives, and some of them are really awesome, like the stuff that Adobe's been putting out. And then some of these AI tools are not as helpful. So in this video, I'm going to help you sift through the thousands of tools and just show you my favorite ones, and then also test a couple of other ones that I haven't tried before, just so that we can all just kind of improve our workflow, make our work a little bit faster and our lives a little bit easier. Because despite the fact that AI is slowly taking over my job and it's going to leave me unemployed, I've actually found it really helpful. Like I said, a lot of these tools I'm going to show you today have been game changers for me and have helped me save hours of time on a daily basis. So I'm going to split these AI tools up into the following categories for you, and that's design, photography, and video creation. Because I feel like every creative kind of has to deal with one of those or all of them at some point when making a project, and hopefully these tools will help make your projects go a little easier. Feel free to skip around the video. I'm going to put timestamps in the description below, so you can just skip to the part you're most interested in, but I do feel like all these tools would help any creative, so you might want to watch the whole thing, but if you don't, you can just skip around. So let's start with design and see if AI can create a good logo, something that's usable. The first one we're going to start with is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT, if you haven't used it before, it's kind of the top dog. It is the name brand for AI. It is kind of the most well-known software. I know a lot of designers and creatives have been kind of scared to use AI. ChatGPT is free and it's pretty easy to use. So if you're interested in trying this stuff out, this is the one to start with. So you just make an account and this is what it looks like. It says, "What can I help with?" And you just have a conversation back and forth, just like you're talking to an assistant. So today I'm going to ask ChatGPT here to help us create a logo because it does generate images. I'm going to say, "Can you design a logo?" And I think the company we are going to design this for today, I'm just making this up, but have you ever seen the world's darkest paints? Like the world's blackest black? I've been looking at those recently because I think they're kind of funny. I feel like it would be cool to try them out. So that's just been on my mind. So let's see if ChatGPT can design a logo for a company that makes crazy paints like that. We'll say, "For my company that makes crazy paints like the world's blackest black." Now from here, I'm just going to add a little bit of detail about what we want. I'm going to say the company name is Extreme Paints with a Z. The style should be modern and minimalistic, but with a sense of playful. And then colors included should be red, yellow, and blue. Now I'm going to hit enter and it's going to start generating an image. It does take a second. So while that loads up, I'm going to tab over, and I also have this other software. We're going to try this with a couple of different AI softwares and see which one generates the best looking logo. So this is Ideogram. This is one I've heard about a lot. I've used it very little, but we're going to try it again today and see what it makes. This is also a free software. I'm just going to paste the same exact prompt into here. Let's hit generate. I'm also going to use Adobe Firefly, which comes with your Adobe subscription if you have one, and put it in here. Let's see if this makes one. And then I'm going to use Adobe Illustrator. Yes, Adobe Illustrator has a AI image generator in it. If you are just in a new artboard like I am, on the properties panel, you can hit this button called Generate Vectors and just click on that. And then same thing, you got a little prompt box here. I'm going to paste our prompt in. It can also generate patterns, which is cool. I've tried that a little bit. And you can also generate color palettes, which is cool. But I think I'm going to leave all of this Envato as well. The big difference with Adobe Illustrator that's kind of cool is that it's generating a vector, not just an image. So it's going to create a real vector right on the canvas that we can really use as a logo rather than an image that would have to be turned into a vector. And then lastly, I'm also going to use Canva's AI. I'm going to paste this into here. Same thing. Before we reveal the results, I have not seen these, so I don't know if they're going to be good or bad. What I found with AI is you have to have the right tool for the job, just like anything else. And I imagine that some of these are going to be really bad and some of these are going to be really good. And that's going to change depending on what you're trying to make. Generating a logo is kind of specific. If I was just trying to generate an image, I'm sure they would all do a great job. But instead, we are trying to generate a logo for a kind of hard company to make a logo for. So I think this is a good test. Let's check on ChatGPT and see our first logo. Oh, dang. That's cool. That actually looks really cool. I hate the font. That's just me though. I don't like the font, but the icon is like awesome. Like I love the icon. That is so cool. Another thing that's important to know about this stuff is from here, you can like keep having a conversation. I could ask it to change the font and I could ask it to even put it on a mock-up. We could do a whole brand in ChatGPT. And I actually did that in one of my last videos, one of my most recent ones. I made a whole brand using only ChatGPT. So no Adobe Illustrator, no Figma, no anything other than ChatGPT. And the results were kind of interesting. So if you want to watch that video, I'll put a link in. But yeah, this is very cool. Let's see what Ideogram made. Oh, wow. Okay. I was not expecting it to make like 20 million logos. This actually looks really cool. I love some of these and I hate some of these. And that's kind of what I was saying is like you're gonna win some and lose some with this. I really like this one. This feels really cool to me. I also really like this one. The text is messed up, of course, but it looks really cool. And then the rest of them, I'm not so sure about. But these two are awesome. Let's see Adobe Firefly. Oh my God. That is awful. These aren't even real words. Look at this. What is this? This is like a movie poster. Yeah, none of these are going to work. These are terrible. Adobe Firefly is not the right tool for generating a logo, but it would generate an image probably really good. Like if I just wanted an image of like a golden retriever holding a lollipop. And there you have it. It's like it does that perfectly, but generating a logo, no. Okay, let's check on our Adobe Illustrator vector logo. Oh, okay. Adobe is not winning in the logo generation category. Obviously, this is not very good at all. The text is not even real letters. It's also like, I'm thinking what they're doing here is they're generating an image and then automatically applying image trace to it, which is why there's like a million paths and they like, look at this one. And they're all just super, super bad. So, no, that's not going to work. Last but not least, let's check out Canva. Okay, Canva's kind of in the middle for me right here. It made, let's see, 4 designs. Like, this isn't that bad. It kind of reminds me of kind of like a Vistaprint logo creator, like what online logo creators were before AI. This one's kind of cool. I kind of like that. But it's not hitting the mark of like a minimalistic, like clean logo. I think the winners are definitely Ideogram with something like this or ChatGPT with like this cool icon. I'm going to put all 5 of these logos on the screen right now. So comment below which one you like the best. Of course, I think you know my opinion. I think that honestly, I'm pretty torn on these two. I think I like this one best. But that's just me. So again, comment below which one you like the best. Overall, my stance on AI logos is that these are great for concepts. Like the fact that I could put in some very basic information and then spit out with Ideogram gave us what is that, 8 concepts right off the bat in about 10 seconds. That's really cool because it's a great jumping off point. And you could even show this to a client. You could get on a call with them, initial consultation call, find out what they're looking for in a logo, put it into Ideogram or ChatGPT, get a couple different styles in just a matter of 10 minutes, and then send them the best ones and be like, which style do you like? And then from there, don't use that as the final logo, but go into Illustrator and start making a logo that is more refined to what they're looking for. These softwares are really good for helping you with concepting out ideas and working through brand identities and all of that detail stuff with logo creation. You can just talk back and forth with ChatGPT all day long. Like I said, check out the other video I made, I'll put it in the corner, about using ChatGPT to make a full brand. I think it is pretty enlightening on the strengths and the weaknesses of where AI is at with logos right now. Now, while we're in Canva, I want to show you some of the other design tools that Canva has. So if you buy Canva, this is going to be the first one that I'm showing you that you have to actually pay for. And Canva is, I think it's $120 a year. Let me see. I'm on the free trial. It's $120 a year. It's about $15 a month. So it's not super cheap. But you also do get Canva for that. And I know a lot of people really like Canva. It can be really helpful for designing. So this is what the Canva AI menu kind of looks like. And the cool thing about Canva is it can do a couple of things. It's not just designs. You can, of course, do designs. You can also create images. So just plain image generation, like I showed you that golden retriever with the lollipop. You can work on documents, and you can also code and generate videos. So you do kind of get a lot of bang for your buck with it. A lot of that stuff you can do with ChatGPT with the premium plan for $20 a month. So it depends on what you're looking for. But of course, like I said, with Canva Pro, you get all of Canva. Not sponsored, by the way. So I just want to show you what the Canva design tool looks like, because I think this is kind of cool. So if you said social media, you said a YouTube thumbnail, let's see what it makes for a YouTube thumbnail for this video. For a video where I try every AI design tool and compare them. So it's making a couple of options here, which is nice. And they're about all loaded up. Here they are. So you can see, here's one. Of course, it's not doing a great job of a YouTube thumbnail, but for a kind of just for a design in general, the layout is nice. And it's a really good jumping off point of if you need a flyer or something like that, you can have this designed. And then the pro of doing this with Canva is that you can now pick one. I kind of like this one the best. I don't know. I like this one too, but I think I would pick this one. I hit edit. And then you can come in here and you can start kind of messing with this stuff, change the pictures out, change the text out. I tried every AI tool. Here's what happened. Grayson's graphics. Then I probably just get rid of that. I can change this image out, put it on these paint brushes, and change the color to maybe a yellow-blue design. I don't know. This is fun. Yeah, that looks cool. Or you can get into the Canva editor and get even more detailed with changing all this stuff. So that's kind of the pro of Canva and its design tool, is that you can describe what you want, you can pick the format, and it will kind of instantly give you a custom-made template that you can then continue to work on and create something that you're actually trying to make. And then the last AI design tool specifically for design that I want to show you is in Kittl. Kittl is kind of like Canva, very similar. They have a couple of different AI tools as well, but my favorite one, if you go into Kittl AI, you click the sets generator. This thing's really cool. It makes a couple of icons for you, a handful, based off a reference image. So I have this abstract art. This is my channel background here. This is part of my brand, are these cool color blocks. So I'm going to take this, that's my style, and then you can add a couple of prompts here of like what you want it to make. So let's say I want it to make like a paintbrush icon. I want it to make an iMac. I want it to make headphones, say a banana. And that's probably good. And I don't even need to fill in the rest. And I hit generate set. Sometimes I have to try it a couple of times to get the result that I'm looking for. But here's what we've got so far. So like, here are the headphones. This is pretty cool. Here's the banana. Obviously, like this paintbrush didn't really turn out. So that's what I'm talking about. Like that one didn't really work, but I could try it again and probably get it to work. And here's the iMac. So it automatically made these images in like that style that I had, and it looks really cool. And then from here, I could just hit their vectorize button and vectorize this image into a vector. So I really like Kittl sets. I think that's one of their coolest features. And I was also just talking to them on a podcast that should be released. I could put that in the corner too, all about AI and design specifically. And when I was on the podcast with them, they were talking about they're making a new feature that you can find fonts using AI. So it's just an AI search engine to find fonts that you want, which I think is super helpful. I'm pretty excited about that. Here's our vector now, so we could get in here and mess with all the points and change all the colors and stuff like that. So now I want to show you some AI tools for photography that I use. Let's take a photo real quick. So I'm going to take a couple of photos of this watering can I got from IKEA just because I think it's kind of funny looking. So it should make a good subject for our AI tools. So let's take a couple of snaps here. And that should do it. Okay, we got our picture. Here it is in all its glory. And I'm going to bring it into Lightroom. The next two features I'm about to show you are probably my two favorites out of this entire video and what I use most regularly. So I'm going to throw this photo in here and do a quick edit. Okay, so now we have our quick edit done. Here's the before and here's the after. You can see our watering can is looking pretty nice. I sharpened up the image a lot. And as you can see, that's causing quite a bit of grain. And just in general, this was shot on kind of a budget camera. So it is not the sharpest image possible. However, Adobe released this little button right here. And I feel like people don't even know this exists. And it's totally transformational for photos. It's AI Denoise. And even if your photo isn't noisy, like it doesn't have little noise particles on it, it makes the photos look awesome. So here is the tip of the watering can here. And if I'm pressing it down, this is what it currently looks like. And if I let go, this is a preview of what it comes out to. So it literally just takes all these little tiny micro noise dots that are in any picture and smooths it out, but without losing sharpness. It actually like makes the picture sharper. I don't know what it's doing. All I know is it makes every photo that I take look amazing, even if they aren't like noisy or dark photos. You can see how it smooths out everything here, even this like highlight. This is before and this is after. Before, after. It's subtle changes, but when it's applied to the entire photo, it makes the whole photo have kind of like a sheen to it. And it just makes it so much more professional looking. So I'm going to hit enhance here. And again, it's not going to be a super noticeable difference with this photo because this photo is pretty high quality. But with every photo, I pretty much apply this to, and it just gives it a nice like finish on it. It's like putting a little gloss over your photo. Boom. So here's the after. I'll show you the before and after. Here's before. Here's after. So you see all those little tiny micro dots just get totally vanished, which causes a very subtle change, but it makes every photo I take look sharper. I just love it. And now from here, I'm going to edit in Photoshop. And I'm going to show you probably my absolute favorite tool. So now I'm my super sharp image in Photoshop. This next tool is my absolute favorite tool. If you haven't used this yet, this is completely mind-blowing. It's Generative Fill by Photoshop. And it takes the hours of work I used to put into photoshopping images and just throws those hours out the window. This has saved me so much time. Personally, I use it mostly for YouTube thumbnails, but it helps with everything. So what you can do is add edit or remove anything from a photo, which is what Photoshop's all about, but this makes it so much faster and it's just a way better final product. So, for instance, with this photo, things that I immediately see that I would probably want to remove. This highlight. This is something that would take a long time to figure out how to fix this highlight. And honestly, the solution for this highlight is to take a better photo the first time. There's not much you can do with this thing post-processing other than some clone stamping. You could turn down the exposure there, but the data there is lost. That highlight is overexposed, and that's what it is. But with Generative Fill, you saw I just selected around that highlight, and immediately it is gone, and they put a little marble there. That's an AI quirk, but you get 3 options. So here's option 1, 2, and 3, and I like option 3 the best. And if we zoom out, I can show you before and after. That highlight's totally gone, and it's totally not noticeable that is not an original part of the picture. This just saved me from an overexposed image. That's incredible. Other things I would probably remove would be like this little tripod here is kind of messy in the background. Just gonna remove that. And then I have this like essential oil diffuser too. I'm gonna add that in my selection and just select these, hit Generative Fill, and I just hit generate and leave it blank. And it will remove this like it was never there. Boom. And now it's gone. Like it was never there. I like option number 3 the best because it keeps this watering can the most like original and level. But there's the before and there's the after. You can't even notice. And now you can also add or edit things. I think something that would be interesting to test is to see, I've got my iMac, my old iMac back here, and see what happens if I try to add a like computer interface or something. So you just hit Generative Fill and just say like computer desktop screen. I don't think it's going to be able to do this. And that's where there are limitations with all of this stuff. Every tool I've shown you today is going to have its limits, and you kind of meet its limits and you realize what it can and can't do right now. I don't think it can do this. Oh, that doesn't look bad. Okay, so it's done it to an extent. That does not look that bad. Let's see if I add the word interface to the end of that. I'm going to try to give it one more shot and see if it can do it. One thing that Generative Fill and a lot of these softwares couldn't do before was like hands and like facial things and just body parts. They always messed up and you'd have like 6 fingers on your hand. Now it can do that and it can do it really well. So that's been super helpful. Let's see our computer interface screen. Got that and that one. It's not bad. That one kind of looks like a reflection. This looks like this. I'm going to try it one more time, but what I'm going to do is you can see my selection still has some black around it, and I think it's keeping that black circled around. So I'm going to make a slightly larger selection here and see if that helps give it enough room to make what I think it's trying to make. Boom. There you go. And that looks pretty good. That one doesn't. But I would say either of those look pretty realistic. I like that one. I like that one. I think I'm going to keep the more bluish one. And now the last photography tool that I want to show you is a website called Let's Enhance. And what this website does is it helps you take old pixelated images or blurry images and make them high resolution. So obviously this watering can picture is high resolution already. So I'm going to use a different image. I'm going to use this screenshot. This is a screenshot of a video. This isn't a real picture that I took with a camera. So because of that, as you see, if I zoom in, it is pretty pixelated, pretty fast. It is not the sharpest image. So let's see what Let's Enhance can do with this image. All you do is upload, and it's got a couple of features that you could change the stuff around. You could specify if this was an old photo or if you want to kind of change more things. I'm going to keep this all standard in auto and hit Enhance and see if it can just make this image a little bit sharper. While this loads, this picture, this still is from a short, like YouTube short reel that I'm working on where I hire an AI artist and like a real oil painter to both paint that picture, and it's pretty surprising. So I'll link that up in the corner too whenever that's released. Okay, it just finished loading up. So you can see over here, I've got the before and after. You can see like my shoulder and just how much sharper this image is now. And then if I even went over this chair, you can see it just sharpens everything up. I do use this tool a lot. I can show you the pricing. I guess it's $9 a month. I don't use it that often, so I just kind of get a free trial every time I need to like use it, because it's not that often that I'm trying to upscale an image and make the quality look better. But on occasion, I do run into that, and this is such a good tool to be able to do that. It not only doesn't make it sharper, but it makes the image itself physically bigger. So before, this was an image taken in 4K, and then after, you can see it's about, I guess, double the size it was before, maybe even triple. I can't do that type of math, but it's a much like a larger picture. This could be scaled and printed out larger. So now the last AI tool I want to show you is for video creation, and just a couple tools that will help for video creators, filmmakers, stuff like that. So I'm going to show you that. Before I get to that, I am getting a little hungry, so I'm going to go grab a bagel real quick. If we haven't met yet, my name's Grayson, and this is Grayson's Graphics. This is a channel I started just to talk about design and being a creative. Recently, I figured out less than 3% of my audience is actually subscribed to this channel, which means if you're watching this video, chances are you're the 98% of people who aren't subscribed. If you like this video so far, I would appreciate if you consider subscribing, because like it feels cheesy, but subscribing actually helps the channel grow and stuff, and as a result I can justify spending all this time on these types of videos and exploring all these new softwares to try to make your life easier. So hit the subscribe if you like the video so far. I really appreciate it, and I'm gonna get my snack. Okay guys, I've got an Asiago bagel here. I'm feeling good, ready to go. Let's get back to the studio and check out the next AI tool. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you are AI video generation tools that generate videos, but I also have a couple of other really interesting tools for video creation that I think are really helpful. So to generate videos, one of the most popular ones is Sora. This is ChatGPT. So again, you can use ChatGPT for free, but you can also pay $20 a month for the premium. And with that, you'll get this video generation. And it's pretty simple. Just like with images, you describe what you want to make, and then it will spit out a short video clip for you. I've used this realistically for stock footage, very hyper-specific stock footage, and it's actually really good for that. So let's pretend like I needed a clip of me in my Jeep on my way to get my bagel. I could type in something like this. Here's like a prompt. I could type in an aerial view following a black Jeep Wrangler with a soft top driving down a narrow city road in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where I'm at. And kind of give a little bit of detail of like, it's going to have a mix of buildings. I can talk about the style of the video I want and just hit enter, and it's going to start generating a couple of variations. I just chose to do one for right now, and it's going to make one video for me, and we're going to see how this comes out. And the reason why I would want this is maybe I want a drone shot of me going to get this bagel for this video, but I don't want to go and fly my drone while I'm also driving and I'm also trying to eat a bagel. So this is an easy way to get some very hyper-specific stock footage. And that I found is the best use case for me. At the same time that this is loading up, Envato Elements also has an AI video generator. So just like we did with the logos where we tested multiple softwares, I want to test out Envato Elements software too. I'm going to paste the same exact prompt into here and hit generate. And if I'm not mistaken, Envato Elements uses Google's VO video generator. So that's a totally different model. So it should be a little bit different. Let's see how our ChatGPT Sora video is coming along. It says it's ready, and boom. So there you go. It's a drone shot in a city. It does kind of look like Charlotte. It's got the right type of trees. The only thing I have to say about this is that's not a soft top Jeep. It does not really look like my Jeep. It's definitely a Jeep, and it says the word Jeep on it in case you're not sure. But it's definitely not a soft top, and it doesn't really look like my Jeep because of that one little mistake. Now, that being said, I could edit this prompt and I can try this again. But overall, for me to just write this out in about 10 seconds, I now have a drone shot of a Jeep driving through a city that looks like mine. That's pretty nice. Let's see how Envato Elements is doing. It says about 3 minutes. Okay, so this one's a little bit slower. Hopefully that's a better result. Okay, and it's ready, and this is the shot we got. Totally different. It's a lot closer in. I actually like this shot better, I think, but the Sora one, I think this is what I was expecting it to make. Like, I don't know. I didn't specify an angle or how close or far away, but this is sort of what I think in my mind I was kind of expecting, and this is a lot closer than I wanted it to be. But it's not bad. It's like pleasantly wrong. Like, I think I like this one better. The only problem is, again, it's a hard top Jeep Wrangler, which mine isn't, and I think that's pretty distinguishable. So they both made that same error. Overall, though, it did generate stock footage pretty closely, and this one definitely looks like Charlotte too, which is cool. Now, the next tool for video creators, video editors that I want to show you is in Premiere. I don't use Adobe Premiere often, but when I do, it's for this tool. And it is AI extending a video clip. What? Yes, I know. So in Premiere, there's a new button down here. It's a magical button with a gradient around it, which if you've been on my channel before, you know how I feel about AI gradients. And you click this, and you can take this clip of me. This is that same video that I took the screenshot for that we use for Let's Enhance. And you can take this video. You can see this video ends right here. I pull the camera down. It's a 360 camera. I pull it down and I stop the video. And that's the end of the clip. Not anymore. With this generative extend tool, I can take the end of the video, drag it out, and it's going to start to generate a couple more seconds off the end or beginning of the video. So I'm excited to see what this looks like. Okay, our AI extended video finished loading. As you can see at the bottom, you can see where it says AI generated on the clip. So that's when this starts. So right about here, everything you see right now is AI generated and was not in my original clip. The clip was cut off right here. And you can see now that video just has a couple more seconds on the end of it, which is super nice, super helpful. It does do something a little wonky with my hand here. Honestly, I tested this exact clip earlier today and it didn't do that. So it's kind of funny that I got a different result this time. So again, this is one of those things, like, I think you're probably starting to see a pattern here where AI takes a long time and you kind of have to wait. I mean, even if it's 10 seconds, it still feels like an eternity waiting for this thing to generate or load, whatever it is. And then the other thing is that you'll get mixed results. It's not going to be consistent, and sometimes it's going to be really good and sometimes it's going to be really bad. So it's kind of a little gamble every single time you use one of these tools. This next tool is probably, again, one of my top favorites, and I honestly didn't expect this tool to work as good as it did when it first came out and I first started using this. This is Adobe Podcasts, but I use it for everything. It basically enhances your speech. So if you have dialogue or voiceover that you recorded with a poor quality microphone, it makes it sound like a studio quality microphone, and it's actually really good at doing that. So let's test it out. Let me see. I'm just going to record something with my phone real quick. It's a voice memo. Hey, this is a test of Adobe Podcast Enhanced Speech version 2. Super simple. So I'm going to play for you what this audio sounds like right now. Hey, this is a test of Adobe Podcast Enhanced Speech version 2. So as you can see, it doesn't sound that bad, but it also doesn't sound like it was recorded on a microphone like this. It just sounds kind of like you recorded it on your phone. So let's take this and just drag and drop this file right into this website. Hey, this is a test of Adobe Podcast Enhanced Speech. That's version crazy. 2. That is crazy how much better it sounds. Oh my God. Here's the before and after. Hey, this is a test of Adobe Podcast Enhanced Speech version 2. Hey, this is a test of Adobe Podcast Enhanced Speech version 2. I think it's mind-blowing how much better this sounds. I use this all the time and I'm still mind blown right now by how much more improved the audio sounds with this. Now this is the last tool for video creation. I have one more tool after this, but this is the last one for video creation and I have not used this yet, but I am so excited to try this. I just learned about this while researching for this video, and if this works, I'm going to use this all the time. This is Adobe's Generate Sound Effects. It's claiming that you can take a video and upload it to here, and it will add sound effects that sound like they were naturally in the video. Or you can even use your voice and just like, here it's got a cow, and it's saying, I could literally be like, moo, 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 and it will turn that into an actual cow mooing, not moving. So I'm going to try to upload a clip of me just like drawing and see if the sound effects actually matches the pencil marks. I think that'll be a really good test. All right, we are recording our video here. I've got this blue Sharpie, and I'm just going to draw something, just going to scribble. Okay, I'm airdropping the video to my computer here, and I'm going to remove the sound from the video. Okay, I just figured this out, but there is a single button in QuickTime Player that says remove audio. I just clicked that and removed the audio from this clip. No audio. And now I'm going to upload it into here. Here's my no audio version. As you can see, there's no audio. And now I just have to describe the sound effect I want to generate. I'm going to say marker drawing on paper. And let's see if this works. Again, I've never tested this before, but if it works, I'm going to be so happy. That was really fast. Okay, I don't think that it's using the video to determine where the sound should go. So I think that's why you need this voice performance. So let's record my voice. Scribble, 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 scribble. What the heck? I might need a little bit more time to figure this one out. Oh my God, that actually sounds cool. That's not that bad. And I just try to figure this thing out. Wow, that is not bad. That's pretty cool. Okay, I think this will actually be very useful. I'm gonna keep playing with this one. Very cool idea, Adobe. I have one last tool that I want you guys to check out. It's called Webflow, and they are the sponsor of this video, but they're also a great AI tool. I could not have made this video without Webflow support, so I'm very grateful for that. Let me show you how this works, because it is truly a really good tool and one that I wanted to include in this video. So when you open up Webflow, it says you can select a way to get started with a template or a blank site, but also you can see here that they have an AI site builder. So I'm going to select this option, of course, and it kind of guides you through the step-by-step on building your website, whether you're trying to build a portfolio for yourself or a website for a brand you're working with. So here's step one, start with the basics. What are you building it for, a business or a personal project? I'm going to pretend like I'm building a portfolio. So let's say personal project, and let's say Grayson Graphics Portfolio. Share some detail. All right, so I shared some detail about my channel here, And then it says kind of define your style. So there's AI suggested one, or you could pick a style already. I'm totally going to let the AI decide for this. Primary site background, I think I do want it to be light mode. I'm kind of in a light mode mood lately. Brand voice, I'll let the AI decide. And just like that, it's made a custom template based off everything I've given it. I've got my logo updated in here and went ahead and changed all the fonts to my font that I've been using. And then one of the nice things I really like about this with the AI website builder is that you can just go to a section and just hit next layout. And this is like way more my style already. I love this layout way better. And the other nice thing about Webflow is that it makes really cool looking like scroll animations really easily. Let me show you one of those. So on this page, I can click on anything on the page. Let's say I'm going to click on this image here. I can add a new interaction, and whether somebody clicks on it, hovers on it, scrolls, or let's do scroll right now, we can choose a sort of animated action to happen with that. So I'm going to say as you scroll, this thing probably slides up. And maybe I'll do that with all of these pictures. We'll make this see work button. Maybe we'll make this on hover. We'll make it kind of like pop. It's looking pretty cool. And if I scroll, there's all my images and they kind of just slide in and pop in. And then I took this see work button, and if you hover over it, now it gets 3 times the size. I just thought that would be funny. Overall, Webflow is a pretty good software, and it's very detailed, and you can customize a lot with it. It's probably one of the most custom softwares that I've used before. But the nice thing is that they do have this AI tool to help you along the way. So whether you want to create something that's really detailed and custom and totally how you want it exactly, or if you want AI to help you and guide you along the process and make a cool website, in either case, you have full functionality with Webflow. I put a link in the description below if you want to check out Webflow. And I also linked all the other softwares that I've used in this video. So if you want to try any of them, they're down in the description. Hopefully you'll find some of these tools to be helpful. I really did just want to make this video to share some helpful tools that I use. Not all AI is bad, and it shouldn't be avoided like the plague all the time, because there's a lot of really great tools out here for creatives that we can use daily to help with our workflow. That being said, I get junk emails all the time from like the worst AI companies who want me to show their tools on my channel. So if you like this video, maybe I'll make a video that's like the worst AI tools for creatives. I think that might be kind of funny. But overall, if you like this video, you'll probably like this other video about me using ChatGPT to design a brand. I kind of mentioned it earlier. I only use ChatGPT, no Adobe at all, and the results were very interesting. So check that out if you want to see another video like this one.